Well, we're back with the aged horses. He's on here, yeah. So we added an aged horse, and we're going to do this throughout the fall. And I like the position we're in right now, where we're moving out some of the horses that we think, and again, this has to be filed under lessons learned, right? And I think by moving some of the sophomores out, some of the aged horses out, gives us an opportunity to turn over and get some new horses in. Horses like High Gear, No Fear is a huge pickup for us. I believe this horse is going to be a real asset to us in the future. And for what we paid for him, where he's going to race, I think it was a no-brainer. So we're going to start with Brave World. He's back in this week. I know we had a lot of people saying, is he going to Michigan? Is he going to Michigan? No, not right now. I mean, he'll go to Michigan if he has to go to Michigan. When the horse is winning the preferred 2 and 3 here in Ontario, there's no real reason to send him to Michigan. If we have some horses that need to go to Michigan, then by all means, they will go to Michigan. But he's not one, not right now. Compass Rose DC is in this week. Now, I'm not going back Monday to drive Compass Rose DC in Stonebridge Sim. I'm staying here with my family and my wife. I'm going back Tuesday morning to drive the horses at the Meadows, and then that will culminate Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday between the Meadows and Northfield Park. And then I will go to Dayton, fly out of Dayton, I believe, to Freehold, race Blue Bayou, Dio, and Freehold, fly back to Dayton, meet my beautiful wife in Dayton. We'll race horses that night at Dayton. We have 2, maybe 3 to race in the consolations of the Sire Stakes. We have So and Sue, we have Purple Aura, and potentially one other horse to bring down to Dayton that particular night. And then off to Lexington for 9 days for me and Amy and I. So Compass Rose DC is on her own on Monday. Billy Davis Jr. is going to take over the reins, and she trained great this week, Jason said, which is a rarity for her. So I'm interested to see what she's going to do. Cruising in Style didn't race great his last 3, but he's dropped down in class now. And I told Mark, if this is going to be the plan throughout the fall, is to, get up the classes and then work your way down the ladder and back up. He's going to have to, they're going to have to retain the shares in Cruising in Style. I like the horse, but we need to find consistency where it isn't, hey, another week and we drop down. I'm not okay with that. I want a place where we can race the horses. Because if we say every third start, he doesn't really get a great chance because he's first over, or he draws the outside, or he's in too tough. What you're saying is, I'm okay with flushing 30% of his starts down the toilet every year.
Is he not? Nothing at the Meadows right now?
No, I think he's in the right place. I think Mark and Michelle should have the horse, but if we're going to run into problems where he's going to have scheduling difficulties or not get a chance to race every week, or not get in a class where he's competitive every week, then, not much good for us. And I know Mark watches these, and this isn't a shock to Mark, and I think, at some point in the fall we'll have to look at maybe, I guess, I don't like using words like this, but divesting from Cruising in Style, and I'm sure Mark and his partners would be interested in picking those shares up. Where are we at now? Don't Believe Me, Just Watch is on Lasix now, and he's racing this week. I know I saw a lot of people, they heard me say he was going in a claimer, and they weren't very happy, but Harry had said to me, listen, Anthony, that's a pretty salty class that he's in. What are we going to do with him? I said, Harry, one rule. We've stuck to it all year. We have a great year of racing from start to finish in 2021, which very few people can say. We've had a very fortunate racing season, and it is all predicated on the premise of putting the horses in where they can win, and that is what we are going to do. So I don't have to tell you where to put them. You pick up the condition sheet as a trainer and say, hey, this is where I think we can get a W, and this is where he's going to go, and that is likely going to be in the condition claimer. Globetrotting was absolutely fantastic this week. I raved about her. I really had to throttle it back. How I feel about this filly, this mare, what she's done for us, how she looks, how she's performed. She is very good. And when I run into Ron Burke and talk to him, when he tells me how much he likes her, he doesn't have to lie. I mean, Ron Burke has 300 horses. What the hell does he care if Globetrotting's there or not? But when he told me, he tells me this is the type of mare we like to breed. She's got high speed. She's got talent. She's going to have a good mark. She's going to put lots of money on her card. That's the kind of horse we want to breed too, so maybe just hang on to her. But Globetrotting has been exactly what I thought she'd be, and what you see right now, I personally believe, is going to be a drop in the bucket of what you're going to see is her as a 5-year-old and maybe even a 6-year-old. I know a lot of people are saying, when are we going to breed her? No, this is For me, I'm not Ron Burke. He has special horses in his barn. Every shed row he walks through, he's got special horses in it. We don't. I think this is one, and I can't wait to see her as a 5-year-old. High gear, no fear, as I said from the outset. We've been very fortunate to pick this horse up. Steve was looking to put together some yearling capital, and we were happy to facilitate, so to speak. This is a good spot for us. It's a good horse for the stable.ca, I believe. His start at the Meadows last week was unconventional. He's usually a front runner or a front ender up near the front. Instead, took a different approach, got away last, 3 wide and on the last turn, and finished 4th in an open. The open event is a 3-year-old or 4-year-old? I think he's 4. I'm not sure.
Well, he's on that list, so he's not 3.
Ah, he's 4, you're right. But, he's been racing good at Yonkers, but if I'm not mistaken, that was the fastest mile of his life last week. He wasn't awesome. I think you're going to see much better things from High Gear, no fear. Path of Totality made a break leave, and I don't want to dwell on this. This filly's percentage of racing with catch drivers, other than myself driving her, has been abysmally low. And she's just got a tricky mouth on her. She's got a funny, you can see her kind of throw her head. You can see her kind of throw her head and make a break at the start. She's just got a little tender mouth on her. You just got to watch her and you got to know her. And I think if we gave Hunter 2 or 3 starts with her, he might be fine with her forever. But I'll be there to drive her this coming week. Spirit of Dio is close again. I was a little, I guess what had happened was we saw she had a little filling in her leg, a little heat in her leg. Under ultrasound, there was no big deal, but it was there. You know, and I tell you guys all the time when the horses are speaking, listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. A lot of useless analogies that we put in play when it comes to things like this. But in this case, it was very important. So we took our time, we made sure we did it right, we cooled her leg out, then we blistered it, we cooled it out, we blistered again, we cooled it out, and then we started working her hard again. Now, I said to Jason last week, I said, listen, don't try and train her in 225, you can't. She's a bull in a china shop, she gets really hot, she wants to go fast. Why don't we just gallop her where she won't go? We can go where we want with her on the gallop. So we've been running her the last 2 weeks. Galloped her a mile in 2-1 on Friday, I think yesterday. She does like that. She gets her head down. She loves to gallop. So maybe we'll gallop her, and we'll qualify her. Me coming back here after Lexington, it's going to be tough. I have to because we're going to drive down together, but there's a lot to go on after Lexington, and this getting... She can't race. She's been off too long, I think.
No, but like, could she not bring her back up here?
Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know where she'd fit. There's not a lot of fillies and mares classes, and she had to race in the Open at Scioto her last race. So the last thing I want is her in the Open here. If there's a class 4, yeah, she doesn't have a ton of money. Maybe that's a good option. That is a good option. We may bring Spirit of Dio back to Ontario then. That's a good plan. Jason's coming back here shortly after, but he's going to New Jersey. I talked to Jason after a 3-point Blue Chips race and said, listen, I know you're packing the barn up at the 17th and you're coming back to Ontario. We're leaving horses there with Lauren, much like we did with Cindy here. And I think Lauren's an incredibly hard worker. It'll work out just fine for us all over the winter in Ohio. I believe we're going to leave 20 to 25 horses there. And I believe if Jason's coming back here, maybe Spirit of Dio can come back here. That's a good point, Amy. I never thought of that. Not just a pretty face, eh? So that might be the plan with Spirit of Dio this week, just because of the timing of everything. I don't know how we could get her qualified. She doesn't get around Northfield great. Do I want to put a new driver on her to try and get her around the track? I know she doesn't get around well. I don't know if that's wise. Stonebridge Simba is racing Monday again. I'm not going to be there. Billy Davis Jr. is going to drive Stonebridge Simba. He's got the outside post, and he should be fine. Taimo Houdini. I missed Houdini races. Oh, he was canceled the other night.
Yeah,
he was canceled the other night, so he'll be back in this week. We'll see how he does this week. White Tiger was exceptionally good in Mohawk this week. 13 lengths, you said? He's never won a training set in 13 lengths, let alone a race in his life. So just a huge mile for White Tiger. This could be the turning point in this horse's entire career, right here this week. He was in the bottom class, but for him to come first over, clear to the front, and drive away, he's never done that in his life. He has waited for everyone before. Hey, Bear, are you going crazy? What are you watching? The kitties? Kitty cat videos.
Watching cats trying to chase each other.
So that's kitty cat videos. So White Tiger drawing off winner the other day was awesome. And then, yes, as I said in the other video, just went for a little tour when I realized I was in a bad spot with him in Delaware in a short field with good horses. I really just trained him. He's sitting on some big wins. We'll get to those horses in a month or two. You can't just come out of the minors after rehabbing and end up being a Cy Young pitcher right away. It takes time. I think Yes is going to be one of the best horses we've ever had. I think he's the best form of Yes he's ever been. Are you laughing at me? The best form of Yes he's ever been. And I think you're going to see that very, very soon. So, as Addie laughs herself into a coughing fit, that will do it for the aged horses.